Hello, you're probably wondering why I sent you this video of me talking, and that's because I love you very much and I consider you to be a very important part of my life. I made this video to sort of bring you up to speed on some things that I've actually struggled with for my entire life, which are gender identity and gender dysphoria. Assuming that these are fairly new concepts for most of you, I will try to provide you with a brief explanation of these terms and kind of what this is all about. So, gender identity is actually in a person's head. It is the gender that someone feels that they are. Everyone is assigned a gender at birth based on the appearance of their genitals, but this is actually their biological sex. And sex and gender are not the same thing. For most people, their assigned gender and their gender identity match up completely. But for some people, that's not the case. These people usually identify with the term trans or transgender. This mismatch between assigned gender and gender identity that these people experience can lead to distressing and uncomfortable feelings known as gender dysphoria. And this is a recognized medical condition, but it is not a mental illness, and there is treatment that is sometimes deemed appropriate. So let's talk about how all of this kind of comes into play in my life and what it means for me. So if you think about it, it probably makes a lot of sense, or at least some sense, that I have struggled with these things for quite some time. And I don't feel like my assigned gender and my gender identity match up. I actually identify as transgender and transmasculine specifically, which just means that I identify with masculinity to a greater extent than with femininity. I prefer to be called Braden or Bray, and I would prefer that you use he, him pronouns or they, them, which is like a gender neutral pronoun, to address me. My middle name was originally based off of my Grandpa Dutch's middle name, which was Brooks, and I have decided to keep that. I do experience gender dysphoria and have for most of my life. Being addressed by a name and pronouns that better reflect my gender identity is a really important first step towards attempting to relieve my discomfort. The best way that I can try to explain what gender dysphoria feels like for me is an extreme frustration and discomfort with my body, my voice, and anything else that does not line up with the masculine identity I feel in my head. So I look in the mirror and I don't see what I feel like I should. I'm not addressed by people around me how I feel like I should be. I can't really interact with society how I feel comfortable. I'm not telling you this to make you sad or get your pity. I'm just telling you this because I want to be open about this part of my identity now, because I have an exciting and incredible opportunity to take a very important step in my life to make myself as happy as I possibly can be. And I hope that I can receive your support in kind of divulging this part of my identity to you. You might be wondering why I'm just now saying all of this, and that is mainly because it's pretty complicated and it's really, really scary not knowing how your family and friends, classmates, coworkers, etc. would react to this. And I've just been really good at belittling my feelings and pushing things aside. And that was mostly out of fear about how it would affect everyone around me rather than thinking about myself. And I just can't do it anymore. I'm honestly still terrified, but I know that you are kind people that are capable of so much love, and I hope that you will at the very least be able to respect my identity and hopefully still love me despite what name and pronouns you use to address me. This does not change anything about me except for what you call me. I am still the same person that you've always known. I do all the same things. I still have all the same interests. You actually now know a little bit more about who I am, and hopefully that will only bring us closer. My girlfriend Kaylin and I are still together and are very happy. She's my #1 supporter, and I'm lucky to be her boyfriend. I have an amazing group of friends who are also an incredible support system, and my parents still love me and are trying to their best to learn about this and understand. I completely recognize that this is a transition and a process for everyone. I do not expect you to just be perfect with my name and pronouns immediately. I know it takes time to break habits, and all I ask is that you're trying. I promise it will feel normal eventually. Something that I think could really help is simply just changing my name in your phone. And whenever you go to contact me, you have to, look for my name, and then you're reminded. I encourage you to reach out to me whenever you feel ready, and we can talk about this. You can ask me any questions you may have, and I've also provided some links to some resources that have some basic information about all of this and kind of what it's about. And so I would really appreciate you taking the time to look over those if you're interested, and I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for watching. I love you very much. Bye.